Chances are, if you are here and thinking about doing this series, there is something a little more that you are hoping to get out of your pigeon pose. Maybe it's simply getting in and out of the posture in general. Maybe it's more specifically flowing into it and out of it from other postures in amongst a flow that you might be doing in a class. Maybe it's simply getting different parts of your body to bend in the ways that it needs to in order to be in pigeon pose. And maybe it's simply that being there for a while gets pretty uncomfy, or it takes you a long time to get settled into this position. Either way, chances are, I'm gonna guess, that you've been working on pigeon for a while, and you probably still haven't gotten the results that you're hoping for. If that's the case, this series might just be up your alley. We are going to approach pigeon a little differently. We're actually not going to do a lot of pigeon itself. Instead, we're going to do a lot of other postures and movements and exercises that are going to make sure that each part of your body that has a particular job in a pigeon pose can do that job. I know that this works from personal experience. For me, it was downward dog. I could do downward dog, but it always felt a bit cumbersome, and I couldn't understand how some people said downward dog was a restful pose for them, right? And I know all bodies are different, so I believed that for them it was restful, but I just could not, from my own experience, understand how I might ever find it to be restful myself. And then somewhat recently, I actually had a little bit of a random shoulder injury. So I was doing some rehab just on my own to strengthen my shoulder girdle for that purpose. What I eventually noticed though, when I was doing a yoga class with my friends, is we were doing a lot of downward dogs, and I noticed immediately that getting into my downward dog, settling into my downward dog, and staying in my downward dog suddenly felt really different than it ever had before, and in a really good way. And I realized that for me, my downward dog had been hindered by my shoulders. So I'm hoping that you have a similar experience as I had with downward dog with pigeon throughout this series. You can take this entirely at your own pace. You can repeat a week's lessons a few times over till you feel like you have a handle on them, and then move on to the next level. And you can take and leave what you need to. The main important thing is that you're listening to your body as you go the entire time, and you're not forcing anything, and nothing is causing pain. Or if you're already a little sore going into the practice, then as long as that soreness doesn't get worse, right? I hope that you enjoy it and just have fun.